The Defense Services Command and Staff College is situated at Batalanda, Makola, 12 kilometers away from Colombo, and its aim to develop the professional knowledge and understanding of experienced officers of the Sri Lanka Army, Sri Lanka Navy and the Sri Lanka Air Force, to prepare them for the ranks of junior field officers in the Army and the respective ranks of the Navy and Air Force. The DSCSC was formerly known as the Sri Lanka Army Command and Staff College. The Commandant is a 2-star appointment, and the current Commandant of the DSCSC is Major General GVDUA Perera RWPRSPVSVUSPUSAWCM.Sc, M.Sc. NDUCTPSC. Objectives. The above aim is met through addressing 6 principal objectives, which are as follows: know and be able to apply the functions and techniques of staff in war and peace. Know and apply the principles and techniques involved in the employment of land forces in particular, and armed forces in general, in all types of military operations. Analyze the function of command up to and including divisional level. Know the structure, deployment, roles and interdependence of the Sri Lankan Armed Forces. Understand how the Sri Lankan defense policy is formulated and the relationship with military doctrine. Analyze those issues in national and international affairs which influence the defense policies of Sri Lanka and her allies. History. The Army Command and Staff College was inaugurated on 16 March 1998 with the first course consisting of 26 student officers. However, the college was officially inaugurated on 28 August 1998 by the former President Her Excellency Mrs. Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumarathunga on a request made by then Commander of the Army, Lt. Janada S. Daluwate WWVRWPRSPVSVUSP-LOM NDCPSC. At the inception, a British Army training team consisting of 2 lieutenant colonels was attached, in order to assist the faculty to formulate a curriculum similar to the British Army Command and Staff College, but with emphasis on our own requirements. They extended a yeoman service from the outset to get our ACSC established, by providing required training material and fine-tuning our teaching skills. The faculty was driven through an on-the-job training program. The ACSC was established with the aim of developing the professional knowledge and understanding of selected student officers both in command and on the staff for the Sri Lanka Army. However, a few selected student officers from the Sri Lanka Navy and Sri Lanka Air Force too were trained on Army Command and Staff aspects from ACSC course number 1 onwards. During the 9 years of ACSC, the college produced 253 graduates, of whom 207 were from the Army, 22 were from the Navy, 21 from the Air Force and 1 from the police. This was in contrast to 58 staff-qualified graduates available in the Sri Lanka Army in the year 1996. The change from ACSC to DSCSC could be perceived as an indication shown from the very inception on the importance of a joint services atmosphere. Moreover, the efforts of all military arms was felt imperative to be joined, in order to combat our adversary. Military operations in an isolation had never paid us required dividends. Furthermore, changing tactics of our adversaries compelled us to revise our doctrines in war fighting, thus setting conditions for a sound joint environment. Inauguration of DSCSC, the 22nd of January 2007 was definitely an important milestone in the history of our armed forces, where all military doctrinal and strategic level planning and teachings were brought under one roof, as practiced by many other armed forces of the world. To add value to the ceremony, the function was graced by the Secretary to His Excellency the President, Mr. Lalithui Ratunga, who was the chief guest. DSCSC Course Number 1 commenced immediately after the inauguration ceremony with 36 student officers from the Army, 8 student officers from the Navy and 10 student officers from the Air Force registering for the first course. The student officers from respective services are functioning under 3 wings, namely Army, Navy and Air, with greater emphasis on joint environment. The course, the DSCSC course, sets out to train officers in basic command and staff techniques, but just as important, it aims to develop the intellectual attributes to cope with the future appointments and the changes that are inevitable in the years ahead. By this process we seek to develop the breadth of understanding and their ability to analyze and evaluate issues in a logical sequence. The training course at the DSCSC runs for a duration of 11 months. The course is meant for Army, Navy and Air Force field senior officers in the ranks of Major, Lieutenant Colonel, Lieutenant Commander, Commander, Squadron Leader and Wing Commander. Officers who are recommended by the regiments and AMP services for the course have to sit for a competitive entrance examination, after which a board of senior officers make final selections. Upon completion of the DSCSC course, officers can use the post-nominal letters PSC, course contain and duration orientation module English writing, reading and public speaking, information technology, etiquette, service writing, introduction to arms, Term 1 Foundation Studies Arms and Services, combat service support, command support and decision-making, doctrine, operations and war fighting, intelligence staff duties, general staff duties, logistics staff duties, operations of war, research methodology, Sri Lanka studies, Term 2 Operations of War, Air Warfare, military assistance to civil authorities, operations of war, strategic studies, international affairs, overseas study tour. Term 3 Joint operations and operations other than war, operations other than war including counter-insurgency, management studies, maritime warfare, strategic studies and international affairs. ICRC Workshop on International Humanitarian Law. Term 4 Management and Technology Joint Operations, Management Studies, Military Technology, UN Peace Support Operations, Training for Operations, Security, Administrative Studies, Nuclear, Biological and Chemical Warfare, Facilities, Library. The DSCSC library comprises 3 sections: the Reference Library, Lending Library and Pamphlet Room. The Reference Library is open daily and contains both general and military reference material and periodicals. The Lending Library is open during weekdays. This is principally a military library with a small collection of books and periodicals of general interest. However, the college is making arrangements to enhance its collection of books through purchases and donations. Auditorium. Most central lectures and briefings are conducted in the auditorium, which has modern audio-visual aid for the conduct of such activity. This auditorium is temporarily housed at its present location awaiting completion of construction work of a more spacious and modern premises. Computer laboratory. The DSCSC provides computer training to students during the orientation module, with the aim of introducing them to the modern IT environment. Basic applications such as operating systems, Microsoft Office applications, hardware, networking and the use of Internet and email are the part of the training. Sports and recreational facilities. All student officers are encouraged to actively participate in sports and other extracurricular activities during the stay at the DSCSC. Student officers will have to qualify in the Staff College physical assessment tests conducted every term. The following sports facilities are available in the college. Student officers also make use of the facilities available at the Sugar Thadasa National Indoor Complex. Commandants. The following have commanded the college: Major General A.E.D. Wijendra, Major General K.J.C. Perera RWPRSPVSVUSPRCDSPSC, Major General G.W.W. Perera RWPRSPUSAWCPSC, Major General A.M.C.W.B. Senaviratna USPNDCPSC, Major General N.R. Maramaba WPRSPUSPPSC, Major General D.S.K. Wijesura RWPRSPUSPPSC, Major General S. Wayne Nagasakara RWPRSPUSPPSC, Major General D.V.S.Y. Kulatunga RSPUSPNDCPSC, Major General L. Fernando RWPRSPNDUPSC, Major General N.A. Ranasinghe RSPUSPNDCPSCISC, Major General J.C. Rambuk Potha RSPUSPNDCPSCIG, Major General Janaka Walgama RSPUSPNDUPSC, Major General GVDUA Perera RWPRSPVSVUSPUSAWCM.Sc. M.Sc.NDUCTPSCPSC,